Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My very dear friends, students, learners, teachers, my mentors, peers, colleagues, once again, Assalamu alaikum. And today we are taking up another very important knowledge area of the project management, that is project communication management. And normally we think that what we are is because what we communicate. So therefore, one way or the other way, our communication skills have a very serious impact on our relationship with the people and in the project teams. I will start from a very simple verse of the Holy Quran. وَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. And we will also discuss some of the verses of the Holy Quran before we start up with the communication management. That how Quran is a divine book has taught us to be very simple, straightforward, appropriate, timely in our communication with the people around. I believe that when we look at the role of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a leader, irrespective of our belief, and this is certainly a fact which has been endorsed by the non-Muslim researchers and writers, that being a leader for the humanity, the Holy Prophet was bestowed with a high level of communication and negotiation skills. And certainly very big leaders of the time and very big kings of the time could surrender before his negotiation and communication skills. So in the life of the Holy Prophet, we can see how the negotiation management has been taken up. So these are some of the Quranic principles which tells us about the communication and negotiation. Talk straight to the point without any ambiguity and deception. Choose best word to speak and say them in the best possible way. And these are the references of the Quranic verses. Do not shout, speak politely, keep your voice low. Surah Luqman. Speak in a civilized manner in a language that is recognized by the society and is commonly used. If you don't have complete knowledge about anything, better keep your mouth shut. You might think that speaking about something without full knowledge is a trivial matter, but it might have grave consequences. Do not try to impress people on account of self-proclaimed virtues, and call people to the way of your Lord with wisdom and beautiful exhortation. Udu ilallahi, udu ila sabilillahi. Call people to the end, dress up in agreeable attire, and adorn yourself with exquisite character from inside out. If you look at the quotations or quotes from the various leaders, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Communication works for those who work with it. Words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind. To effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different in the way we perceive the word and the use, the understanding is a guide of our communication with others. In business, you can never learn anything more important than successful communication skills. The result of bad communication is a disconnection between strategy and execution. Our bodies communicate to us clearly and specifically if we are willing to listen to them. So communication is defined as the interchange of thoughts, opinions, or shared symbol, that is language, word, and phrases. Some synonyms of the word communication is message, directive, word, contact, post, commerce, communion, intercommunication, intercourse, converse, exchange, interchange, conversing, discussing, talking, conversation, discussion, talk, advice, intelligence, news, tiding, social media, blah, blah, blah. If we look at the typical communication model, we have four important attributes. That there is a sender, there is a receiver, there is a content or information, and there is a behavior which is exhibited by both sides. The sender is the person trying to communicate a message. The receiver is the person who the message is directed. Message is this information, and we use in media. We will also discuss. And information which is meant is to change is behavior. This is just a funny picture that the lack of communication between the sponsors and the end users could bring a very different solutions than what needed by the client or the end users. So the simple swing was required, which was as simple as tying a tire to the branch of the tree. But anyhow, this has been experimented by the various researchers, and the lack of communication could bring different solutions, some very complex and some very difficult to execute. So there are always barriers, and the barrier may be in the form of unclear process. For example, the language is not the same, the slangs are used, the jargons, technical jargons, the vocabulary is not very rich with the listener. The symbols are very complicated. Now, the chain of command is the second barrier, that there may be too many people in layers in the message process from sender to receiver. The large size of an organization, geographic distance, and another issue. The long travel time or the long dissemination time can also lead to barrier. There might be personal limitations like visual disability, physical, mental, and differences in intelligence and education might interfere with mutual understanding. There might be the human nature. For example, people may bring the egos, prejudice, and traditions in which the people may avoid to understand or listen. Conflicting feelings, goals, opinions. If there is a conflict existing between the sender and receiver, then there will be less tendency to understand. The power can lead to information hoarding when there is a power. So we have a lot of barriers: the education level, the culture, the traditions, the way of talking, the discourse, and all these create some barriers. This is a very simple share model that states the main purpose of your message, highlight other important points, assure the receiver's understanding, react to how the receiver responds, and emphasize or summarize your main idea. For example, how to state the main point of your message. I would like to talk to you about the new employee welcome program. This can be a very simple sentence to inform your main message, highlight other important points. We need to discuss the new schedule, location, and presenters. Assure the receiver's understanding. Do you need me to further clarify how we are talking, making invitations? React to how the receiver responds. I understand your concern about parking. Emphasize, summarize your message. I wrap up and I'll develop the schedule and make the room reservations if you can line up with the guest speakers. So it's very important to get the good information in time, and you try to take a few moments. So the good informations may be the facts and details, direction and instruction, try to understand another point of view, help someone solve the problem, resolve a team conflict, solve more problems, and other ideas you may have thought of. Good information can be abstracted due to lack of trust, assuming you already know it, jumping to conclusion, not valuing diverse opinions, weak reading skills, weak listening skills, weak questioning skills, and other ideas you might have thought of. Now, the power of listening, the philosopher Epictetus stressed the power of listening in this quote. Nature gave us one tongue and two ears, so we could hear twice as much as we speak. Now, to listen actively, we have to prepare to listen by focusing on the speaker. We control and eliminate the external distortion. We establish appropriate eye contact and we try to see the listening as an opportunity. We try to take the notes. Create a need to listen by thinking about what you can learn. Set aside the time to listen. Don't prejudge the message. Don't jump to the conclusion, and monitor the way you listen by asking yourself questions such as, did I really pay attention? And so on. Now, the constructive feedback is normally impeded by separating the person from the problem, other becoming defensive or angry, fear of negative consequences, dealing with potential conflict, avoiding hurt feeling, preserving relationship, not having all the facts, choosing the right time, and other areas you can think of. The body language, which is the non-verbal communication, send a strong positive or negative signals. For example, only 8% of our communication is expressed in words. The tone of voice is making 34%. And the non-verbal cues make 58%. So this is just a kind of study which tells us that the majority of the communication is taking place in the non-verbal ways. In the non-verbal and body language may include the face, the figure, focus, territory, tone, time, and each of these can be, for example, the face includes your expression, your smile or lack thereof, tilt of the head. If your head is tilted to one side, you will indicate you are interested in what someone is saying. Your figure, for example, your body posture, your demeanor, gesture, your clothes, accessories such as jewelry, your watch, your telephone, your glasses. Your focus is your eye contact with others. The perception of eye contact differ by culture. For most Americans, staring makes other people uncomfortable. Lack of eye contact can make you appear weak or not trustworthy. Glasses may interfere or enhance eye contact. The territory is focused on how you can use space. It is also called proxemics. The perception of territory differs by culture. Most Americans are comfortable with an individual space that is about an arm's length. Muslims feel warmth when they embrace. And the Arabs further kiss their cheeks. The tone of the voice is really very important. The pitch, which is highness or lowness of your voice, and the volume is how loud your voice is. So how it can reach to the different parts of the hall. Emphasis is your emphasis is your reflection. Time, how you use your time. It also called acrobatics or proxemics. Pace is how quickly you speak, response is how quickly you move, punctuality is your timeliness. So in the time context, you should be very careful about all these three attributes. People are always communicating. The meaning intended by the sender is never exactly the message gotten by the receiver. We can help to overcome the barrier to communication by being aware of them. Verbal and non-verbal communication is important in sending our messages. Now, the second part of the lecture is about the project communication, which is the process to provide the timely information, accurate, reliable, and timely informations to all the stakeholders in the projects and outside the project. And the 3 or 4 attributes which are really very important to communicate to the different stakeholders: the cost, time, quality, and scope. And the entire communication model of the project will be revolving around these 3 or 4 major attributes or constraints of the project. So when we look at the processes which we are using, this includes the communication planning, the information distribution, the performance reporting, and the management of the stakeholders. Now, the communication planning is basically every project should include some type of communication management plan, and this is really very important. And normally, this is decided during the project charter or the preparation of project proposal. That the line of communication is clearly identified. For example, we normally communicate with the Higher Education Commission for the government projects in the universities, and then through the monitoring and evaluation department, we are also communicating with the Planning Commission. But certainly, the main channel of communication with the project sponsors or the Planning Commission is normally through the monitoring and evaluation department of the Higher Education Commission. We create a stakeholder analysis for project communication, also aids in communication planning. This may have some that we need to have the stakeholder communication requirements. Different level of stakeholders would need different amount and different details of the communication. So it's not always the case that you will give the same level of communication details to every stakeholder. Information to be communicated, the format's content and level, the people who will receive the information and who will produce it. So the channel of command and authority is very important. Suggested method or technologies we will discuss. The frequency of communication, for example, how the reports would be generated. For example, in projects, we report the monthly project progress. Our report is communicated on the 5th of every month, and similarly, the quarterly report is submitted on the 5th of next month of the quarter. For example, we submit the first quarter report in the October first week. Escalation procedure for resolving issues, that how the communication model will be used to resolve the issues of conflicts we discussed last week. Revision procedures for updating the communication management plan and in glossary of communication terminology. Now, this is just telling us the different stakeholders and their communication needs. For example, the customer management department will need the monthly status of the project in form of the hard copy, and the contact person will be Tina and Tom, and it would be due on the 1st of every month. Similarly, the customer business staff would require the monthly status report in hard copy, and the people are shown. Similarly, the customer technical staff, the internal management, the internal business and technical staff, the training subcontractor, the software subcontractor, and so on. So we have given the format of the documents, our communication, the contact person, the time for each the frequency, and the time, the date. So you see that in this table we have the stakeholder, the frequency of reporting, the format, and the contact person and the due date. The second, once we develop the plan, then we use different tools to distribute the timely and reliable information to different stakeholders as per the agreed plan. So getting the right information to the right people at the right time is a useful format is just as important as developing the information in the first place. So important consideration include using technology. For example, you can use the emails, you can use the internet, you can use the websites and so on. Formal and informal methods. So don't bury crucial information. It's very important if there is any very crucial information about the project or about the organization, please immediately share with the relevant stakeholders. Don't be afraid to report bad information. This is very common that many times the project is having a scheduled slippage, we have the cost overruns, we have quality issues, and we have sometimes very safety issues. But please be very honest to communicate this information in time, because if it is one way or the other way not informed or misreported, it can create a very big issue at the later stage. Oral communication via meetings and informal talks help bring important information, good and bad, out into the open. So the frequency of meetings is also very important in the project communication. The face-to-face communication is really very important, and we just discussed that the 58% of the communication is through body language, 35% to the how the words are said, and only 7 or 8% is, so pay attention to more than just the actual words someone is saying. A person's tone, voice, and body language say a lot about how he or she really feels. So to encourage more face-to-face interactions, you try to be short, frequent meetings, very effective in projects. Stand-up meetings force people to focus on what they really need to communicate. Some companies have policies preventing the use of email between certain hours and even entire days of the week. So this is just to promote the face-to-face interaction, because in more face-to-face interaction, you would solve the problems. This is just media choice table. It's a bit older, I think 2001, that how the priority of the people in using the from one is excellent and for example, 3 is inappropriate. For example, to assess the commitment, hard copy is given least, but the top is meeting. Building consensus, again, meeting is at the top. Mediating conflicts, meeting. Resolving misunderstanding, that is the most, again, the telephone calls and meetings. So this just tells us, based on the survey, that what are the appropriate tools, highly responsive tools to deal with different kinds of challenges in the project. So if you want to address the people, the last one, the most appropriate can be, for instance, your website communication. Live video is important medium for sending information. Microsoft says that 1 in every 5 face-to-face meetings can be replaced with web conferencing, and they estimate it will save $70 million in reduced travel in 1 year alone. And today, while being in the COVID-19 and lockdown condition, we have a lot of tools being used, like the Zoom. We are using the Microsoft Teams. We are using the Hangouts and other kind of tools, which are really very helpful to reduce the face-to-face interaction. But certainly, the face-to-face interaction has also its own importance. The medium can backfire, as in case with the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction during the Super Bowl halftime show. So it can backfire sometime if the medium is not properly designed. The understanding of group and individual communication needs. As illustrated in Booth's book, The Mythical Man Month, you cannot assume that a task originally scheduled to make 2 months of one person time can be done in 1 month by two people. This is very, a 9 woman cannot produce a baby in 1 month. So you have to be very careful in estimating the time and communication needs. The personal preferences are really very important. For example, the introverts like more private communication, while extrovert like to discuss things in public. So the people may be two kinds. Some people may not like to discuss their problems openly, and they might be introverts or inward looking. And the extroverts are the people who would try to share their problem openly in the meetings. Intuitive people like to understand the big picture, while sending people need step-by-step details. So the intuitive people are more like philosophers, and they would need to have more details of the problem. Thinkers want to know the logic behind decisions. These are different type of people, and judging people would be driven to meet deadlines, while perceiving people need more help in developing and following plans. Rarely does the receiver interpret a message exactly as the sender intended. We discussed this. Geographic location and cultural background affect the complexity of the project communication. For example, the different working hours, the different time zones, the language barriers, the culture norms, and so on. Now, this is just telling us the channels. For example, if there are two people, then there is only one channel. A is talking to B. But if there are three people, then the number of channel then is something like 3. That A can talk to B, B can talk to C, and A can talk to C directly. So there are 3 channels, and this formula is given that if you have more people in a communication, the channel would increase as you have more number of people in the communication. This is just telling us that, for example, if there is only 2 people, we have 1 communication channel, and there are 3, then we increase the channel to 3, and if there are 4, then it is 6. So in 4 minus 3 by 2, it would mean 6. So as many people you are communicating with at one time, you will have more communication skills. The third very important attribute of the communication modeling is to have the performance reporting. These are normally the status reports, which would give the project status in the at least 4 major areas of cost, quality, time, and scope. And then there are progress reports, which are normally periodical progress reports for a sort of period of time. It may be weekly, monthly, and even daily. Today we have online real-time progress reports also. For example, in the traffic management, we have the status reports on online real-time basis. Then we have the forecast reports to predict the project performance in terms of cost, quality, or time. And that is, we have discussed already in terms of the earned value management. The managing the stakeholders is really very important, and this is now the 10th knowledge area. In the last almost 6 or 5 years, the stakeholder management has become a new knowledge area in the project management, according to the PMI, Project Management Institute approach. Because of the complexity and importance of the stakeholders, this knowledge area has been now separately defined by the PMBOK. Originally, it was part of the communication modeling, communication management, but due to the importance of this knowledge area, now the managing stakeholder is treated to be the 10th important knowledge area. So you must understand and work with the various stakeholders, need to devise a way to identify and resolve the issues with them, and you need to identify the expectation management metrics, and log of the issues. This is, for example, EMM, or expectations management metrics. For example, the success, the scope has got second priority, and the expectations are the scope statement clearly defines mandatory requirements and optional requirements. So focus on meeting mandatory requirements first, and optional second. The time has the top priority. There is no give in the project completion date. Every major deadlines must be met and the schedule is very realistic. The project sponsor and the program manager must be alerted if there are any issues that might affect the meeting schedule goals. So the top priority, and then the cost is the third priority. This project is crucial to the organization. If you can clearly justify the need for more funds, they can be made available, but certainly these justifications should be based on a true real needs of the project. Then there are strict rules for project expenditure and escalation procedures. Cost is very important, but it takes big seat to meeting schedule and then scope goals. The log issue, which is normally the various issues which erect in the organization in the form of cost increase or in the form of people, conflicts, and so on. For example, we have given the example of two issues. The first is that server costs 10% more than planned. This is an issue. And this is a slight increase in the project. The date reported was 15th May. And Jane reported it. It assigned to audit, and the priority was medium. The due date is 15th of June. The status is closed. And comment, the sponsor agreed to provide additional funds to meet the deadlines. This is, and a second issue is two people left the project. Need to reassign the personnel. The 26th September, the Gavro is the reported by and assigned to Karen, and it is a high level priority because the people might be very important for that particular phase of the project, and the 2nd of October has been set as a target date. The issue is still open, and if Karen cannot reassign people within a week, she should talk to prefer direct. Now the communication suggestion for improving the project communication, you manage the conflicts effectively, develop better communication skills or an effective meeting, use email effectively, use templates for project communication. So we have a lot of templates, and I'll share with you sometime else. Various organizations and various books have very good templates for communication. The conflict handling modes, we discussed this last day. There is confrontation, which is, we call it competing, compromise, smoothing, forcing, and withdrawal. The conflict can be good also. We discussed last time that a positive conflict need to the health of the projects. We try to develop group thinking, conformance to the value or ethical standard of a group. Group thinking can develop if there are no conflicting viewpoints. Research suggests that task-oriented and task-related conflicts often improve team performance, but emotional conflicts often depress team performance. We discussed this in quite detail last. Now, to develop the better communication skill at the sites, companies and formal degree programs for IT professionals often neglect the importance of speaking, writing, and listening skill. This is unfortunately very common in the higher education of Pakistan, that we are more developing the cognitive domains of the students, and we are least bothered about their affective and psychomotor domains. Their affective domains, which is related to the skills of speaking, writing, and listening, are really very important for their successful career. As organizations become more global, they realize they must invest in ways to improve communication with people from different countries and cultures. It takes leadership to improve communication. These are some of the recommendations for running very useful meetings. We have seen that for majority of the cases, the meetings are very open-ended. The people don't have very focused discussion, and irrelevant non-agenda issues come into the meeting. So this is very important for the chair and for the secretary of the meeting to be very focused on the meeting. Determine if a meeting can be avoided. So first of all, if the meeting is not required, it should not be arranged. Define the purpose and intended outcome of the meeting. It's very important. Determine who should attend the meeting. Provide an agenda to participate before the meeting, and this agenda should be provided at least 1 to 2 weeks before the meeting date. Prepare handouts and visual aids and make logistical arrangements ahead of time. So it's very important to make logistical arrangement and run the meeting professionally, build relationship. The most commonly tool for the communication today is email and websites. For the open communication, we use the websites, and for the closed communication, we use the email most of the time. It is an appropriate medium you can communicate. Be sure to send the email to the right people. And again, the email address should be carefully checked, because many times the email is not received due to some grammatical mistakes. Use meaningful subject lines, and please avoid any kind of jargons or slangs or typical communication which we normally use in the social media, because the email has to be very carefully drafted. Please have a very careful spelling check, and we normally recommend that first of all you write the email on the Word document, and then you have the spell check, and then you cut and paste to the email sending. Limit the content to one main subject and be as clear as concise as possible. And I normally prefer to have 1, 2, 3, 4 as a para, so that under each para we can discuss a very relevant thing. Limit the number and size of attachment, very important. And today, though there is a size limit, but still we can use the Google for having the mass transfer of the data. Google Drive. Delete an email you don't need, particularly about the spam. And don't open an email if you question the source. Many emails have the spam, and the spam have incorrect information at one hand, and sometimes they have some programs which can hack the computers, or even they can access the very sensitive information of the computer. So make sure that if you don't know the source, please don't open the email and delete it. Make sure your virus software is current, very important, because when you are dealing with the external stakeholders through the emails, there are always tendency of having the viruses. Respond to and file emails quickly, even if you need to have some data and it may take time. Immediately you should think, and you should tell them that you will be providing the information within 1 or 2 days. Learn how to use important features. So using templates for the project communication, many technical people are afraid to ask for help. Providing example and templates for project communication saves time and money. Organizations can develop their own templates, use some provided by outside organization, or use sample from the textbooks. Recall that search shows the companies that excel in project management make effective use of templates. For example, this is a template we normally use for the project description. For example, the objective, the scope, the assumption, the cost, schedule, and so on. This is another report template we normally use to accomplish for month of January. These are different attributes, and we normally give this in the form of some templates. These are some of the final project document checklist. For example, the project description, project proposal, the backup data, original and revised contract information, original and revised project plans and schedules, design documents, final project reports, deliverables as appropriate, audit reports, if any, lesson learned, and copies. And normally we need to provide this kind of information at the close of the project, normally in the form of PC4. The lesson learned reports are really very important in the projects, because every project brings some new experience and we learn from the project. So a reflective statement that documents important things an individual learn from the working on project. The project manager often combines information from all of the lessons learned reports into the project summary reports. There are very commonly used project websites, and today we have the PMEIS, Project Monitoring Evaluation Information System, which has been provided by the Planning Commission and the Higher Education Commission, and we normally provide them online data about the project progress through the unique ID number of the project. Normally, the project directors have access to such kind of data. This is telling us some kind of templates, for example, the project website, but there are much better project website now, which can tell us in quite details. The communication infrastructure is a set of tools, techniques, and principles that provide a foundation for the effective transfer of information. These include email, project management software, groupware, fax machine, telephones, teleconferences, system, document management system, and word processor. Techniques include reporting guidelines and templates, meeting ground rules and procedures, decision making, processes, problem solving approaches, and conflict resolution and negotiation techniques. And the principle include using open dialogue and agreed upon work ethic. Lastly, we can also use different kinds of software for the developing the project communication models. For example, there are many tools we can aid in the project communication. More than 37% of the people telecommute or work remotely at least part-time. Project management software includes new capability to enhance virtual communications. New tools such as instant messages and blogs can enhance project communication. So thank you very much. I'm really grateful. We discussed some basic fundamentals about the project and about the communication and the project communication, and I believe that this might be useful for the project managers and general readers or general listeners. Thank you very much, and I once again have my best wishes and prayers from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us in the holy month of Ramadan, and we are enabled to offer supplication to the Almighty subhanahu for solicit His well and His rada, and for the success here and hereafter. Ameen. Summa Ameen.